Hey guys, Bushcraft 412 here. I want to do a quick video. I had a few others planned, but time kind of ran short tonight, so I'm going to have to get to them next week. This video tonight is about being a prepper versus being prepared. And there's a big distinction between the two of them, and that's what we're talking about tonight. Now, we've got a lot of new TV shows out there like Doomsday Preppers. YouTube is exploding with prepping videos, and we have a lot of people who are new to this, and I want to get something out there. You know, kind of use my channel to set some things straight. And that message I have tonight is that you can buy all the water you want. You can buy all the food you want, the guns, the knives, the ammo, all that stuff. You can stock and fill your house. You still may not be prepared for a disaster. And I know this is going to upset some people because they're going to say, well, you need food, you need water, you don't need them. What you need is knowledge. What you need is the ability to think critically and to solve problems and to be creative in coming up with solutions on how to solve problems. You don't need the stockpile of food. And I'm a firm believer, and trust me, I've had this channel now I'm actually coming on my 2-year anniversary. And I talk with a lot of other YouTubers, I talk with a lot of people who are just viewers, and I talk with people in the real world and in the community, and people, I've been to a few events out there, prepper events out there, and it's a fact that the prepping community is full of people who are mentally ill. And I'm not saying mentally ill like crazy, but mentally ill in that they suffer from paranoid fantasies, they suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder and hoarding tendencies. And these people satisfy that by prepping. It makes them, whatever it is that's making them feel paranoid or that they need these things, buying this stuff satisfies them. And that's great, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't make you prepared. Kind of my point being is, preppers I see as trying to hold on to their lifestyle. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if the big one ever hits, the shit hits the fan really happens someday, preppers are looking to hold on to their lifestyle. They want their bottled water, they want their canned food, they want their electronic devices and batteries, and they want all those things, and to be able to hold on to their old life. And I don't think that's being prepared. I think being prepared is about being able to adapt to the new reality that's around you. If something does happen, the whole electric grid goes down nationally, and the country gets set back 100 years, if you have a big food supply, you have a year's worth of comfort, yes, but after that, you're not going to be prepared for the world that you have to enter in because you spent your time and your money stockpiling water instead of learning and adapting. And I think what's more important than gathering things and storing and doing all that is learning. I think learning is the most important thing you can do as a prepper. And one of the most important things you can do is to be prepared to live a different lifestyle. And that's, I think the most important part of my prepping is I think I could adapt well to having no electricity, to having to do things by hand, having to garden for my food and hunt for my food, and I feel I could adapt to that situation fairly well. And I think that's what's going to make me a successful prepper. Not my food storage, not my ammo, not my guns. I think that knowledge base, that willingness to learn, the willingness to be uncomfortable and step outside of my comfort zone is going to make me successful. Versus preppers who are grasping onto their old lifestyle. If the grid goes down and it's not coming back up, we're all going to have to change. And the people who are going to be successful are those people who are ready to change and ready to embrace whatever it is that happens to the world, that they embrace that and can prosper by it and thrive by it. Not the people who are going to hold on and live in their bunkers. Okay, it gives you a little bit of safety, but it's not a lifetime worth of safety. I really think being prepared is a mindset. Being a prepper is a way of life. And granted, there are a lot of preppers who are very well prepared. And don't think I'm saying that that's not a possibility, that all preppers aren't prepared. But I think a good majority of preppers are not prepared. They don't have the mental toughness. They aren't able of stepping out of their comfort zone. And their prepping is proof of that they're so rigid in their lifestyle and that they have that quality of life that they're not willing to adapt, and they have to store and stockpile to preserve that way of life. You know, my kind of philosophy is that I'm ready to roll with whatever happens. Whether it's today, tomorrow, or 20 years from now, I feel I'm ready to go back to a lifestyle that may not be as comfortable as what I'm accustomed to. I have a lot of skills I've learned over the years. I have a lot of things that I've learned and have the capability of learning in books that I can read, and I think I'm good at picking up new things, and I think it's a valuable skill, because, you know, in reality, the only food storage I need is enough to get me to the next growing season. That's all I need. Get me through to the next growing season, and I will be okay. You know, so here in New York, where we have the hard winters, I need, you know, probably 5-6 months of food. You know, because if shit were to hit the fan in fall, obviously you're not going to be able to grow. Hunting, you know, there's going to be a lot of people hunting. Food may be scarce. So I think I need enough food to make it through a long winter. After that, I'm going to have to be willing to give up my lifestyle, enter into a new one, and adjust and adapt and do all that. And that's where I think we need to be looking at, is not stockpiling, but learning, adapting, learning to be uncomfortable, learning to live outside our means, outside what we enjoy, giving up the TV and the Xboxes and all that fun stuff, and, you know, being and having and enjoying a simpler life. And, you know, like I said, I mean, a lot of preppers aren't ready for that. They're grasping, they're holding on to that old life, and that makes them not prepared. And just something to think over when you're planning out your prepping and what your plan is, that it's not about the water, it's not about that. And there are things you need, guys. There are things you should definitely, especially if you are in, you know, a warmer climate, you need some water supplies. If you know, you can't control the weather, if you don't get rain for 3 months out of the year, you need water. Likewise, you need medical supplies. You know, back 50 years ago, people died of simple things. You need medical supplies. You don't need fancy electronics. You don't need flashlights. You don't need all that stuff. You don't need Bic lighters and all that. You need food, you need water, but you need the ability to get them on your own beyond your stockpile. And a major part of prepping and being prepared, and the thing I feel why I'm not afraid of a shit hits the fan scenario, not because I have all this stuff to rely on, but I feel if I have to walk out my door with the clothes on my back, I feel like I'll be okay because of the knowledge I have and the mindset I have, and it brings me a lot of comfort to know that I don't need all that stuff. But yes, they're going to help. They're going to be great, but I don't need them. They're not a crutch for me, and that's a big thing. And guys, you know, if you don't have the money, read. Go to your library, go to the internet, read, learn everything you can pick up on the basics. Primitive living skills, the best way to deal with anything. You know, I think the key to being a good prepper is to have that ability to walk away from everything you have. Walk out your door with the clothes on your back and be okay. And that's a big thing. Don't count on the stuff. The stuff may fail you. You could lose your home. Your food supply could get tainted. Your water could get tainted. Electronics can die in EMP. You know, your guns can break. Your ammo can go bad. Can get wet, ruined, whatever. There's so many things. Don't rely on that stuff. Rely on you. Rely on your knowledge. Rely on your family, you know, to get you through these things. And remember, more than anything, when you watch that stuff on TV, when you look at these YouTube channels, are these people really prepared? Or do they just have a lot of stuff that they need to survive? Big difference between the two. I hope you guys have enjoyed Bushcraft 412.